Welcome back to another episode of the Sacred and Profane podcast. It's Neftara Grace, your favorite embodied goddess in this realm. And oh my goodness, this is coming at you in full moon energy. We've got a full moon in Taurus tomorrow. We're post election here in the States. And Um, I have kids, so it's also still post Halloween in my world. I'm still eating candy out of candy bags. If you know, you know. Hey, y'all, we're going to talk about everything today, but first, let me just go ahead and get a couple things, a little housekeeping. Please, please, please do not listen to anything I'm going to say if you are not at least 18 years old. If you are not 18 years old, you need to go on somewhere. It's grown folk business. It's grown folk talking around here. You don't need to be in here. All right. That's because although I mark my podcast as clean, because it is for the most part, we still talk about things that are intentionally triggering. Okay. And I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day. It's the younger we are, the less time we've had for actual healing. Does that make sense? When we're young, we're experiencing traumatic events, we're experiencing challenges and setbacks and obstacles, and we're just not quite self-aware enough to distinguish what is from what isn't and then to powerfully heal. Now that's not true for everybody. Okay. So look, some of my teenagers are very, very advanced, very, especially this new generation, very self-aware, very into doing that work. However, for the sake of this podcast being something that's offered publicly, my request is that you be 18 years old, so that you can listen in with integrity and be empowered. Okay. So let's get some runes on this. Ooh, that's a lot of runes. I only want four. Let's get four runes on this. You guys, I love my runes. I have two sets of runes. One is wood burned runes on oak, and the other is actually amethyst. They're gemstone runes, and I love it. We're going to use the amethyst runes today. We've got Gebo, of course we do, because they love to give us a gift. We've got Wunjo, joy. We'll take it. Raidho, the wheel, rhythm. The rhythm. I love that. I love that. Divine interaction with Gebo, like joy. Joy, the joy of connecting with Wunjo. And I really always feel that joy of connecting with you all when I do this podcast. Raidho, the wheel, is like the rhythm, right? Oh, and then Issa, we had this last time. Cosmic coherence, ice, the opportunity to get still so you can listen. Issa to me is like, it's actually a still point. I feel like I'm in an Issa moment myself where it's like, come in, sit down, get still, get quiet, and tune in. Yeah. So it's totally what this time is about. And my other runes are sitting right here, and the rune that's peeking its head out of that bag is Wunjo. So this really is an opportunity for us to have joy. What I'm hearing in the spirit realm is celebrate. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. So let's jump in. I gotta tell you, it's not even that this message is about celebration. As a matter of fact, I feel like what we're going to talk about is going to occur as the opposite of celebratory. But if you can dig in, right? Like I say, if you can dial your emotional maturity up and bring yourself present, allow yourself to get triggered and sit in the discomfort, I think you will find something to celebrate at some point. At some point. All right, but we don't jump in. We don't talk about shadow aspects. Now, I am the Shadow Queen. As you guys know, we did a whole episode on why I'm called the Shadow Queen. I do not call myself the Shadow Queen. Beings from the other realms call me the Shadow Queen. They call me lots of things. But Queen and Shadow Queen is mostly what I get called. Okay? I get called Queen a lot. Right? And I gotta tell you, what's so funny is in this realm, in the 3D, people don't call me Queen here. They do not call me Queen here. And as a woman of color, Queen is, this is kind of a tangent, kind of not. Y'all will get this. As a woman of color, especially living in the South, being born and raised in the South, Queen is a name that we call each other in the Black culture, in the Black community, right? Hey, Queen, what's up, Queen? What's up, Queen? Hey, Queen, hey, Queen. Um, Interestingly enough, the few people that have called me Queen have not been people of color. Okay. So in this realm, in this 3D realm, I have I should say, when I have been called queen, it has always been by someone who's white. Y'all, I didn't even think about that until just now. Y'all, I'm telling you, I did not even think about that until just now when I said it. I've only been called queen in this 3D realm by white people. Okay. Now, when I go to the other realms, they call me queen there. What people call me here in this realm is goddess. I get called goddess in the 3D a lot. It's fine because I'm a goddess, so it's fine. That's totally appropriate. But I want to talk about this kind of all-encompassing experience that we're all having, but that we may not all be present to happening, if that can make sense. And so if you think of it like you are in a movie theater, forgive me, you're in a movie theater eating popcorn, and there's a kerfuffle going on in the lobby. Oh my goodness, yes, this example is extreme, but let's get it. There's an active shooter in the lobby, and so the management has shut down the movie theater, but you don't know that yet because you're sitting in your movie eating your popcorn. So unbeknownst to you, there's something huge happening that is absolutely 100% going to impact you and affect you, but you don't know about it yet. You don't know about it yet because you're watching your movie, got your popcorn, got your Coke, your Sprite, whatever your thing is. If y'all like me, you like to go to one of those like Cinebistros or one of those. You got your little cocktail there watching your movie, kick back in your leather recliner, and there's foolishness happening in the lobby, right? So at first throw, you might want to feel like, well, that has nothing to do with me. I'm in my movie. But it does have everything to do with you because the management has to shut down the entire building. The cops have to come. And so even though you are not in the lobby when things go down, you don't know the person with the gun. You don't even know what the heck going on because you're watching your movie. You still are impacted by it. At some point, not yet, but at some point, they're going to stop your movie. They're going to stop it. They're going to stop your movie. Okay. They're going to come on the PA and they're going to go, we're so sorry. We apologize for the inconvenience. However, we've had an emergency situation in the lobby. We're going to ask everyone to please quietly and calmly head for the nearest exit. You'll see law enforcement in the parking lot. They will stop you to assist you with the next step. That's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So if you can picture this analogy, it hasn't happened yet. Okay. My lovies. My lovely, lovely friends. Right now on this planet, this is the situation we're in. There is so much kerfuffle and commotion going on. There is a spiritual war that is being waged in the streets. In the streets, y'all. But most of us are sitting back in our everyday life, chilling, eating our popcorn, kicked back in our recliner like, yeah, whatever that is, that don't got nothing to do with me. I'm over here minding my business. That's not my problem, but it is your problem. Because at some point, your regularly scheduled life is about to be forever interrupted to deal with this kerfuffle. Now, I can speak like this because I spent most of my life being that whatever was happening in the lobby didn't have anything to do with me. I really believe that, y'all. I really did. I lived 30 years of my life, right? 30 years of my life. Like, no, that's in the lobby. I'm in theater number 5. I'm not in the lobby. I already got my popcorn and drinks. I'm good. I was living like the whole building wasn't about to get shut down. That's how I was living. So that's how I know that's how a lot of people are out here living. Living like, well, I'm minding my business, so I'm okay. Well, I'm where I'm supposed to be, so I'm going to be fine. Well, I follow the rules, so that's not going to affect me. Well, I left my shooter at home, so I'm not the one. Oh, I know better than to bring my heat to the movie theater. I'm not the fool. No, no, I'm here on vacation. I don't even speak the language. It doesn't matter what your uh, what your occurring world is, how it occurs to you. The reality is when there's an active shooter in the lobby of a building, the whole building is going to get shut down, and that's just period. That's just period. I'm hearing they're saying it's protocol. It's protocol, y'all. It's protocol, okay? So check this out. You are absolutely correct. If you're in theater 5 eating your popcorn, there's a shooter in the lobby, guess what? It ain't you. You got that part right. It's not you, but it does impact you. So let's chop this up and unpack it. Right now in the world, we are dealing with such a commotion, spiritual warfare that is designed to to dominate reality and force feed illusions down the throat of every person alive right now. That is the crux of the spiritual warfare that we are in. And that's why they gave me the movie theater analogy. That's so great. I get it, y'all. So there's a reality and then there's the fantasy. And the spiritual warfare, all the battles and skirmishes that you've experienced, that your family, your genealogy, your ancestors experienced, that the world is experiencing right now, it's really about what's real versus what's fake. And a part of what's fake is the concept that the battle is about good and bad. That's fake. That is literally movie theater fodder. That is actually, factually movie theater drama. There's a good person and a bad person, a hero and a villain. That is cartoons. That's fake. In reality, the battle is about reality versus illusion. You can have an illusion that feels good, looks good, smells good, tastes good, but baby, it's still fake as hell. Still fake. And you can have reality that's harsh and cutting and chilling and biting, and it's real. Why does it matter? It matters because when something is real, you can shift it. You can change it. You can transform what's real. You can actually affect, influence that which is real. An illusion is just that. It's an illusion. You can't do anything with it, baby. It's a projection. It's like, y'all, my kids, right? They have those little nightlight, y'all might know what I'm talking about. Those little nightlight things in their room where it's this little thing that you plug it in, right? And it's got stars cut out all over it and it spins. And so at night after it's lights out and mommy kisses and everything, they can have stars all over the wall and their ceiling. My daughter calls it her disco ball to give you an idea of what this is. Super cute, super cute. There is an actual device that sits on their nightstand. That's real. That's real. It's got a little LED light bulb in it, and it's got this cutout kind of plastic covering that goes over it. And the cutout shapes are stars and unicorns for my daughter, and my son has one that's like dinosaurs and rockets or something like that, right? They have their own. His is green, hers is purple. Those are real. When you walk into their room, you can see those very real night lights on their nightstand, okay? Every night when the lights go off, on the ceiling and wall are now projected red, blue, purple, green, yellow, orange, whatever, unicorns, dinosaurs, stars, rockets. All that's now projected onto the wall. That is not real. That's an illusion. That's a projection. Okay. So to keep it simple, if I want to change that unicorn, I can't go to the wall and try to change that red light, that red unicorn on the wall. It's an illusion. I'm going to touch the wall and the unicorn isn't going to be there. See what I'm saying? If I want to change that unicorn, I got to go over to that little purple lamp on my daughter's nightstand. I got to take the unicorn cover off and put a different cover on. I think they came with two covers. That's the example here. So I could take unicorn off and put rainbow on, and now I can project rainbows. Okay. That's why it matters. That's why it matters. That's why the war is so fierce. That's why the battles are so deep, because it matters. As long as you're being force-fed an illusion, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change it. You can't shift it. You can't stop it. It just goes on and on and on and on. It's an illusion. Okay? The only things that can be changed are the things that are real, baby. So this spiritual war that you were born into, that I was born into, that the world is the theater of, okay? So you can call Earth this ultimate theater of spiritual warfare. Okay? Earth is the battleground. The battle, the war is about what's real versus what's fake. Look around your life. Look at around your country. I don't care where you're listening from. It's 2024. We global citizens out here. Let's keep it 100. No matter what language you speak, no matter when you're listening to this particular episode, you can look around your life, your community, your neighborhoods, your workplace, your family, your governments, and you can see that there is a very real war between what is real and what is fake. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Now, that's the war. Those are the opposing sides. The side of illusion has been winning because they've been able to convince you, me, those three, that the battle is about good and bad, right and wrong, having morals, okay? Y'all, it's a lie. Years ago, I figured out with the help of the Holy Spirit that morality was a trap, was a consciousness trap. Y'all know what a trap is. I'm from Atlanta. I know what a trap is. Y'all know what a trap is. Morality is a trap of consciousness. Woo, that's good. That's hot. Try this out. Consciousness is a trap house. Morality is the drug. If your consciousness is the trap house, morality is the drug that's being passed around in that trap house. People lay it out in the corner, high on morality. People stuck in some of the most deplorable conditions imaginable because they're so full of morality. Marinate on that for a minute. But the creator of all that is, infinite source itself, the one that emanated creation, the literal source of reality will not be defeated. It is not possible for that which is fake to defeat that which is real. Okay? So this war that we've been in for, I mean, we don't even have memory of when there wasn't this war, if we tell the truth, was always going to end with a victory for reality. Okay? But the gameplay has been, how many people can we get stuck into an illusion? Now we're not gonna break down why in this particular episode because we'll go too deep. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna keep it light this time. We'll come back around and take another cut at why they want you stuck in illusion. Okay? Because if your brain works like mine, you're like, well, why? Why do you want me to do what's fake? We'll touch on that in another conversation. For this conversation, what I want you to begin to sit with is that everything you've been told is wrong on purpose. Everything you believed is a lie, and that has been intentional. The real game out here is it real or is it fake? Is it real or is it fake? Is that real or is that fake? Now, y'all, I said we're going to talk about the shadow aspect. Here's why. Just like I talked about my kids' night lights projecting these cute little stars and rockets on the wall and the ceiling, whenever we walk around, we're projecting shadows, right? The only time you're not going to project a shadow is when you're in complete and utter darkness. Can you feel that? Okay. But if there's even a tiny bit of light, there's going to be a shadow. So a lot of us have gotten duped into believing that our shadow self is the real version of us. And in that case, we have absolutely become uninterested in discovering who we really are. We've gotten comfortable with allowing someone outside of ourselves to tell us who we are. And we've been terrified to discover who we are for ourselves. It's almost like we've been force-fed illusions so much that it's now all that we as humans want to traffic in. If it's real, we're intimidated by it. If it's real, we don't trust it. If it's real, we're not impressed. We're not impressed with real. We think real is boring. We love a good illusion. We love something that's been doctored, enhanced, made up, blown up, dramatized. Y'all know we love that. Again, that's why they gave me the movie theater analogy. We love it. We love living in a fantasy. We love it. It's a sickness. That love for a fantasy is a sickness. It's a perversion. It's an addiction that the Most High will be rooting out and healing his people from. I didn't expect to say that, but that's what came out, so that's what it is, okay? That love of the fake is a sickness that will be healed. Ashe. Only that which is real can nourish. Only that which is real can sustain. So again, wherever you're listening from, time, space, place, I don't care. Look around. If you see something crumbling, if you see something falling apart, I guarantee you it's some step in the process, either the design, the implementation, or the practice. Something fake as hell is going on there. Okay? Go back to the shadows for a moment. Something that I felt very strongly years ago. So my daughter is 8 years old. She just had a birthday. Y'all. Oh Lord, 6 days ago. She's had a birthday 6 days ago. And my son's birthday is in 3 days. Okay, so this is like birthday week, birthday weeks for us. Um, when she was born though, 8 years ago on November 9th, y'all already know what it was, right? November 9th, 2016. Take a step back in time with me. So I'm in the hospital, with my newborn baby in my arms. And I'm receiving download after download because, to give birth to a baby is to stand at that portal of life and death, right? If you've had a baby, you know. If you haven't had a baby, but you've been present at a birth, you know. Okay. Your life and death is a door and you are standing there when you bring a baby into the world. So I'm receiving all these downloads holding my new baby. And in 2016, I knew what 2024 election was going to look like. And I said so in that hospital room. I said, hey, 2024 is how it's going to go. I could just see it. I could see it. Okay. And I said, and I gave birth to my daughter in Atlanta, a hospital in Atlanta. And, people, in and out of the room, y'all know how it is in a hospital, people in and out, in and out, in and out. And, somebody said to me, well, do you think, how they put it? I'm not going to ask you who you voted for, but Do you think that this person is good for our country? Right? Right? And I said, hmm, I don't subscribe to good or bad. What I will say is that the person who just got elected, it's 2016 now, the person who just got elected is a reflection of who we are as a country. And we are not prepared to deal with our reflection. That's what I said in 2016. Okay. My son came in 2018. I had him at home, free birth. That's what I wanted. That's what I got. It's beautiful. 2018, you guys go back in time with me, November 17th, 2018. I'm sitting there like, dang, again, at that portal of life and death, holding a newborn baby in my hands. And I said, I just did this 2 years ago, but I was in a hospital. This time I'm in my bed at home with my daughter. I was in a hospital bed. And as I was remembering the birth of my daughter while holding my son, I also was taken back to that conversation about how the person in the White House is a reflection of who we are as a people. But 2 years had passed. And so I thought to myself, holding my son, I said, you know what? It's not just that the person in the White House is a reflection of who we are as Americans, is that this person in the White House is reflecting our shadows back to us, and we don't like it. I'm the shadow queen. I dance in the shadows. I sing to my shadows. My shadows know me and I know my shadows. I'm the shadow queen. So when someone reflects my shadows back to me, I say, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then I take time to alchemize and integrate the healing that's available for me. It took years to master that. I used to, like most people, run when someone reflected my shadow back to me. I say, I don't do that. That's not me. That must be you. No, 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 no. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. As a matter of fact, I look for my shadow. I look for where I am also committing that behavior, where I do that too. I'm looking for it because I understand that whether we like it or not, whether we recognize it or not, and whether we want to admit it or not, we're all connected. We're all interconnected because we all belong to the one. It really is one love out here. One love, one heart, one race. That is reality. That is reality. That is reality, the ultimate reality. One love, one heart, one race, and our heart speed is one. Anything else is an illusion, created and projected to keep you bound and miserable. Please, in your life, your home, your relationships, your neighborhoods, your communities, your churches, your places of worship, whatever you do. I don't go to church. You don't have to either. But whatever you do, I want you to begin to look for what's real and what's fake. If it's real, you know it. You know what's real. If it's fake, you know it. You know it's fake. I'm going to share something I was downloading last night, and then we're going to end it here because we're going to, like I said, we're going to come back in a separate conversation and really get into why be stuck in an illusion? What is this all about? Like, who's doing this and why would they do it? But, you guys, I have had such a year, right? I've had such a year. And I told my, I was chilling last night, like, okay, I'm sleepy and, I'm going to go to bed early. And I did. I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. And then I was up again, a couple hours later. And I was like, okay, that didn't work. But I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, I'm creating the next era of my life. I just completed a cycle. I just finished out a chapter. I'm going to create my next chapter. And what am I going to title this next chapter of my life? Like, what is it going to be? Who am I going to be in it? Right. And I started looking for inspiration, looking to who am I really resonating with right now? What energy am I really vibing with right now? You guys are gonna laugh, or maybe not. Maybe you're gonna be like, oh my God, me too. So there's two energies. Well, actually, there's three. No, there's four. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. There's four. There's four energies that I'm vibing with really, really, really hard. Okay. The first one is an embodied person. I am vibing so hard with Megan the Stallion. Megan the Stallion, I'm telling you, her whole vibe. And so I was sitting with her vibe last night, like, wow, and don't get me wrong, I love Nicki Minaj. I'm a fan of Cardi B, like for real. But there's something about Megan that I'm just like, yes. Now, if you know me, and you might not, I have big energy. I have a big aura. I have a big presence. And my own style is more romantic and glamorous. Okay. So I do a lot of black. I do a lot of leather. And then I do a lot of soft. My Venus is in Taurus. So I do a lot of black and pink, if that puts you in the mind. Okay. So picture black leather jacket with black skinny, jeans and my, heels, but I've got on this soft pink blouse. That's my style. That's how I vibe. So Megan and I do not have the same style. That's the bottom line. We don't have the same style. We just don't. And there's something about her energy that I was vibing with. And I sat there for a moment like, what is this? I'm not going to dress like her. I'm not her. That's just not it. But there's something, and then it dawned on me, oh, she's real. She's real. So in the world of entertainment, there are some entertainers who are very dramatic in their appearance. They are very big in their energy. However, the drama in their appearance is not real. It's a projection to enhance their craft. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They're entertainers. So part of their entertainment is to dress a certain way, is to speak a certain way. It's a part of their persona. Okay. Megan, Megan is real. If you guys are familiar with Megan the Stallion, she did a Tina Snow album, and she says Tina Snow is her alter ego. Okay. And then I think one of her other alter egos is Hot Girl Meg. Okay. But for me, when I look at Hot Girl Meg and I look at Tina Snow, I am very clear it's still Megan the Stallion. It's not three different people. Does that make sense? Y'all know what I'm talking about? So for my own occurrence, Megan the Stallion is real. Her flamboyancy is real. It's not put on. It's not for entertainment. She's expressing her real self. Her real self. Case in point, when I think the first 30 something years of my life, because of how I was raised, I was ultra conservative in how I dressed. I didn't even used to wear jeans, you guys. Like it was really, really extreme how conservative I was in my dress. And as I matured and connected to my own real nature, that's when I learned that I'm edgy. I'm a black leather girl. I'm telling you, I would never have thought it. If you had told me 20 years ago that I'd be wearing leopard print and black leather, I'd be like, I'm not a hoe. That's literally what I would have said. But try to catch me today without black leather, red lips, and some cheetah print. You ain't gonna do it. I mean, that's just how I roll. That's me. That's me. It's edgy, it's glamorous, it's romantic. But I never would have seen myself being this way 20 years ago because I was still choking down the illusion that women who wear black leather and red lipstick are whores. It's what I was force fed and I was choking on it. So I wore skirts that came to my knee, blouses buttoned up to my neck, and I never, ever, ever wore red nail polish or red lipstick. Are you kidding? That is just too brazen. Now I know what's real for me. And because it's real for me, I promise you, I do not look like a whore because this is real for me. It's not a costume I'm putting on. Does that make sense? Lovelies, we're moving into an era. We're moving into a chapter, all of us collectively on this planet, where only that which is real will be honored and respected. Only that which is real will be honored and respected. Only that which is real will be honored and respected. Realness and reality has nothing to do with morality. Realness and reality has nothing to do with morality. To be real and to live in reality has nothing to do with your morality. We're going to leave this here. I want you guys to marinate on this, okay? It's a lot. This is one you might have to go back to and listen to a few times to continue to unpack what's being offered to you here. When we circle back around to this conversation, we will dig more into why would anyone want anyone else to be stuck in something fake, to be stuck in an illusion? Why would anyone choose fake over real? We'll dig into that. But for now, I want you to begin to just play around with looking in your own life. Can you discern what's real from what's fake? Have you activated your gift of discernment? Do you know who you really are? Are you tired of choking down what's fake? Are you prepared to let go of what's fake and receive what's real? This is the question.